Shalom, giving all praises to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachahakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders at Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations, as always, to the elect. And this is going to be a prophecy watch, all right, going into the things that are happening, all right, worldwide, and linking them to biblical prophecy, all right, as we know. The words of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai are faithful and true, and in these latter days, all right, it is becoming more and more evident that the things that were foretold by our forefathers, you know, the prophets, all right, are taking place, all right before our eyes and unfolding, all right, as we enter into the end of Esau's world. So as you can see here, I have this video up by the beloved elder, you know, Karatazar GMS Vegas Sit Downs 144K. And I've seen a few videos on this. The Canadian crime bill C-367 in a paradigm that will lead to persecution, the devil coming down with great wrath. All right. And I also saw a sister posted, I can't find it, I was looking for it before the video, but I saw it earlier, that 441 or 144 is somewhere in this bill as well, which we know ultimately the 144,000 have the new song, all right, that is the only mechanism, you know, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, all right, and the only doctrine, all right, in this earth, all right, that can overcome the wiles of the devil. And through this gospel, okay, of everlasting life, all right, which condemns death, these Edomites will be sentenced, all right, as the scriptures say, out of the mouth of two witnesses or three. Let's get that, as a matter of fact. Let's start there, because what this whole bill is gearing towards is that, you know, talking points using the Bible and people going out on the highways and the byways preaching the Bible, okay, can be jailed. Okay, so let's get the law, okay, out of the mouth of two witnesses. Deuteronomy 17:6, out of the mouth of two witnesses or three witnesses shall he that is worthy of death be put to death. See, but at the mouth of one witness he shall not be put to death. So the Lord has given us two witnesses in the form of the remnant, okay, which is Judah and Ephraim, all right, the servants, the prophets of the 12 tribes of Israel, raising up here in these latter days, okay, and there is a witness. That's why the scriptures talks about inquisition being made, okay, and it talks about the two witnesses, which is, you know, symbolic of northern and southern kingdom, Judah and Ephraim. And when we get the scriptures, okay, when we get the scriptures, inquisition, we know that it talks about inquisition. Okay, Psalms 9:12, when he maketh inquisition for blood, he remembereth them, he forgetteth not the cry of the humble. And the Lord is making inquisition. Okay, 2nd Esdras 6:19, and will begin to make inquisition of them what they be that have hurt unjustly with the unrighteousness, and when the affliction of Zion or Sion shall be fulfilled. And that is fulfilled in Esau's rulership. Okay, our punishment and affliction ends, all right, with Esau's world ending. Okay, and inquisition is what? Let's just look it up. Inquisition is a period of prolonged or intense questioning or investigation, interrogation, questioning, quizzing, cross-examination, which for years this devil has went unchecked. You know, all of his lies, you know, his standard, everything he's put out there has went unchecked. But here in these latter days, okay, the Lord has given us two witnesses. All right, it says, out of the mouth of two witnesses or three shall he that is worthy of being put to death be put to death, right? And we have a third witness in the form of people like this. See, these Edomites and heathen and even certain 2/3 who the Lord has put a spirit on them, you know, to pretty much bring things out. You have certain insiders. All right. But overall, there's a whole heap of people, all right, who are coming out and bringing out the truth of these matters. All right, showing you that the rulers of this world, what they're trying to do. All right, there's certain insiders, all right, and people who the Lord just put a spirit on to bring things out. So that would be likened to that third witness. So let's check this out.
Bills 367, expressions of the Christian Bible will now be a crime under the criminal code. Do you think that our government has anything better to do than try to suppress the freedom of expression of religious belief, no matter what that is? Like maybe affordability, our carbon tax, the drug problems we have throughout the country. I think that the liberal government needs to get their priorities in order. Let me know what you think in the comments.
So let's get into this bill, all right, Bill C-367, because as you know, the New World Order and the standard that they are trying to stamp into the planet Earth goes against the principles of the Bible. So it would make sense that anyone teaching the Bible, all right, and using it as a standard as, you know, how life should be, you know, lived, you know, calling out the things that are going on in the earth, they're going to eventually, okay, be severely punished. All right. Because if you don't bow to the image, okay, and take that mark, all right, there will be consequences and repercussions. All right. And they are now in the finishing touches of making you bow to their image, which the image is fulfilled in, you know, the ancient Greco-Roman lifestyle, which is all centered around perversion, idols, wickedness, confusion, and flat out rebellion. You see, that's what it's all centered around, rebellion. All right. Reminiscent of Nimrod, all right, whose name means rebellion. Okay. Leading the world into, all right, the first attempt at a new world order. We now have the biblical Edomites and the heathen who are gathered with them, all right, with their attempt. All right. So this is in Canada, which is a part of NATO. So eventually, you know, this whole beast system are going to adopt these laws, right? And there may be some who disagree, which is going to lead to confusion and division. All right. But, you know, Canada has been, you know, the center of much draconian measure. All right. You have a particular famous, you know, professor slash, you know, doctor who spoke against some of the policies. All right. And they, I forget his name, but they're entering him into a re-education program because of his thoughts. All right. In order for him to, you know, go and teach at the college he was teaching at, you know, there's particular, you know, re-education processes he must go through. And I brought him up in one of my news and prophecies. His name is at the tip of my tongue, but it's not really coming. But basically, here we are, right? And although this is in Canada, all right, once it's all said and done, this is the overall standard that the devil is going to implement into the earth through unrighteous decrees. Okay, as people who, you know, read the Bible, they're going to, you know, start to, you know, there's going to be a lot of people raised up to do things for the left hand, on the left hand. Some, all right, Israelite camps that you see out teaching, some of them could be completely under the control and influence of the left. And there's going to be a moment where they do something that's going to be used to blame the ministry. All right, all kinds of things are getting ready to happen. But overall, getting into this bill, praying in public. All right, and this dude is he's a sicko. He's a beast. Okay. Trudeau, which his family is a family full of freaks. All right. You can look in this guy's eyes and see he ain't right. But praying in public, reading aloud from the Bible is hate speech. Now, what does the scripture command us to do in the book of Isaiah? Let's get Isaiah 58. All right. Isaiah 58:1 says, cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgression. All right. In the house of Jacob, their sin. This is what we are commanded to do. All right. And we always show you that, you know, let's get Isaiah, the 59th chapter. All right. So you see where this is going, right? All right. And there's a camp out there. So pray, you know, pray for all of the brothers, but, you know, pray for those brothers, you know, the GMS, you know, Toronto. You got brothers set up in these regions. All right. It's Isaiah 59 and 14. It says, and judgment is turned away backwards, and justice standeth afar off. For truth is fallen in the street, and equity cannot enter. Yea, truth felleth, and he that departed from evil maketh himself a prey, and the Lord saw it, and it displeased him that there was no judgment. So this is how we know that we're close to the Lord, you know, setting the judgment. That's why the two witnesses had to go out, okay, and testify so that a judgment can be made. Now, to get this in the NLT, it says, yes, truth is gone, and anyone who renounces evil is attacked. All right, Yahweh looked and was displeased that there was no justice because a wicked system of judgment has been set in place. All right. The earth has been given into the hands of the wicked. All right. Let's see here. Verse 14 in the NLT says, our courts oppose the righteous, and justice is nowhere to be found. Truth stumbles in the streets, and honesty has been outlawed. Because why? Idols control the narrative. Wickedness, leasing is now at hand. All right. And this is the result of idol worship, is where lies can control the narrative. All right. And even have a voice. You know, the very fact that we're debating, all right, can a man be a woman and a woman be a man, and having this, you know, clash between the sexes is proof that we're in an unrighteous system. And honesty has been outlawed. Telling the truth, all right, is now the center of contention. So telling the truth is being outlawed. All right. And also we have here, before we get back to the article, all right, off of CTV News, federal government, okay, introducing bill to address forms of online harm. Okay. And I'm going to play the video, but again, a lot of the actions that we're going to see people take, you know, in the form of, you know, harming people is going to be blamed on online hate speech. A lot of the so-called hatred that the small hat people are receiving, they're attributing it to online hate speech. You see, so we see where it's going. Meanwhile, this devil is dropping bombs worldwide. How many people have went back to the spirit world in you know, those Palestinians, right? So meanwhile, he's literally, you know, rape, robbing, murdering, bombing, destroying. All right. But people who get online and address things are going to be attributed to others being harmed. So let's check this out.
Internet safety is a subject talked about in most households, especially with vulnerable family members, young kids or seniors. The Liberal government is...
As if they care about children. There's billions, millions of children that go missing annually. All right. And there's not a real big deal about it. You see? But they're able to, you know, hone in on these little situations to have you to believe, all right, that online talking points is what's leading to others being harmed. No, Edomites, the Edomite rulership, see, is what's leading to people being harmed. All right. And yeah, within it, there's other people you can point the finger at as a result of his rule. But when you get to the root of the issue, it's Esau. Okay?
Is hoping its long-promised online harms bill will help protect people. The latest version is set to be introduced tomorrow. CTV's Colton Parail reports.
More than a decade after Amanda Todd took her own life after online exploitation and bullying, her mother hopes new legislation will help protect children and spare families the grief she's had to endure.
I felt like a failure as a parent because I couldn't do anything. This is why something needs to be done and to make it easier.
The Liberals' long-awaited online harms bill will be introduced Monday.
See, and it's the Liberals that's behind all of this. Again, they create the problem, they get the reaction, and now here's the solution. Okay?
Latest in a series of sweeping and controversial internet regulations.
We need to make sure, and I think we can all agree, we need to protect our kids online.
The proposed bill is aimed at online companies and expected to target hate speech, terrorist content, child exploitation, and the sharing of non-consensual images, both real and AI.
Well, you have a organization called NAMBLA that's actively functioning. Okay? Let's Google it. Let's look it up. North American Man-Boy Love Association. They have a website. See? Man-Boy Love Association. What do you think that's all about? It's a pedo and pedestrian advocacy organization in the United States. Why ain't this on the news? They have a functioning website. See? And it's all hidden in the alphabet. They took every alphabet. All right. If you notice, this goes back to the Greco-Roman, these gods. They always had the little boys with them. So that's a clear spirit that's, you know, within this beast system is grown men, you know, messing with children. Okay, of both sexes. Starting as early as 2, 3, 4. And it all goes back to the research done by the devils like Sigmund Freud or Freud or whatever the hell his name is, Alfred Kinsey and the rest of these devils who say, well, children are, you know, they could be sexual at birth. But now they're going to target online hate speech because a little girl, which could be, you know, you never know what that is going in this world, but, you know, offed herself behind people talking about her.
Generated, all with a significant focus on child safety.
And these are large companies, none of which are based in Canada, and we have to have, you know, some teeth to be able to compel action, or, you know, we'll just be ignored, basically.
The Conservatives say it's an attempt to censor Canadians, while others hope for even stronger digital protections than those expected in the bill.
It is a place where young people interact, and therefore it is our duty to design it in order to protect young people.
Protections some say should have existed long ago.
I don't have Amanda anymore, but I still worry for the kids out there and their families.
Legislation like this already exists in several other countries, like the UK, Australia, and the EU. Now, on their third attempt, the Liberals hope Canada will soon be among them.
See, and everybody's cursing them out. If you look at all of the comments, people know that this means more government control. I'm sure this law won't be abused. Yeah, more government control. Another loss of our freedoms. Parents should be responsible for censoring, not the government. Everybody knows, and this goes to that scripture, all right, the vile person will no more be called liberal. People, here it is, they go under the guise of liberal, all right, which liberal has two sides to it. But as you can clearly see, everybody's onto them. Now, let's go back here and read this article here. Trudeau's, all right, government has introduced a bill, all right, that could land Christians in prison, all right, for quoting the Bible or expressing a traditional faith-based opinion if the Canadian government deems it, all right, promotion of hatred and anti-Semitism. So we all know where this is going. See, we all know, all right, and Canada was the center of many, many draconian measures from 2020 till now, even before then. Okay, under this guy's, guidance. And again, Canada is a part of NATO, right? Bill C-367 purported to amend the criminal code will redefine our boundaries of free speech, and that's what they're going after. This is why you see the uptick in all manner of, unrest, confusion, shootings. Okay, and a lot of it is people being sparked by online talking points. All right, criminalizing public Bible readings, prayer, and other expressions of Christian teachings. Now we know, all right, that the disciples were first called Christian in Antioch. Okay, let's get that in Acts 11, and it was a derogatory term. Yep, Acts 11, which in this chapter, I believe, is where, maybe they were called Niger as well, black. But here, all right, where there was much opposition to the word, all right, it says Acts 11:26, and when he had found him, he brought him unto Antioch, and it came to pass that a whole year they assembled themselves with the church and taught much people, and the disciples were called Christians first in Antioch. All right, so they were called Christian, all right, which is associated with many gods. You got many Christ, Krishna, Serapis Christus, all right, and the people there, right, even those of the circumcision, all right, called the disciples and the followers of Yahushua Christians. It was a derogatory term. You see, followers of the Mashiach is what they were, followers of the Messiah. There was never a religion, all right, established called Christianity, okay? But they were followers of Yahushua, and the term Christians or followers of the Anointed One did get placed on them. I just wanted to put that out there. So, okay, Christian teachings of the Bible, the teachings of the Messiah coming and destroying this place, that's all in the Bible, will now be criminalized under this bill, okay, because it goes against the standard of the New World Order. This move by Trudeau's liberal government, which the liberals, all right, the liberals, as we been going into, all right, they're showing themselves to not be liberal at all, because what does the word liberal mean? Let's get it here. Okay, liberal, generous, nobly born, noble, free. So the liberals are supposed to be about freedom, but it's a snare how the Democrats use the term of liberal. Everybody should be able to have, these civil liberties, but it's all centered around perversions, and people who speak against it within the grand scheme of what they're doing, all right, are labeled or categorized. That's what they've been doing this whole time. They put the most outrageous people in positions of power. You now have, men playing basketball with women. Okay, you now have, they turn themselves into so-called women and play basketball. They run in, track meets. They enter into competition to actually, compete against physical, biological women. See, and then they win. They're injuring them. That's all done under what is called liberal policies. You see, and anyone with a voice against it, they've been able to, using the democracy, which what the people want becomes law, what the majority want, all right? And they've been able to force this agenda down you that the majority, It's this and that using their mainstream media. It's all a farce. It's witchcraft. That's what it is. And they go around the world pushing these democracies where issues that certain countries don't have become issue, and then they're able to set up a government and pass laws on those issues that lean towards them having their way. All right, it's the oldest trick in the book. All right, but here it is, you know, extravagant, unrestrained. See, under liberal, all right, you have that, you know, Tower of Babel mentality. Now nothing will be refrained from them which they imagine to do. Unchecked. See? Now there's a good aspect of liberal, but they use that word in this liberal, you know, talking point. All right, and this is what they're pushing: a free, unrestricted, unimpeded. Okay. All right. It ignores piety. See? Let's look at the word unimpeded. Piety deals with reverence for a higher power. Okay. Unrestricted, unhindered, unblocked, free, open. That's what the NWO is all about. Unbridled lust, unchecked licentiousness. Okay. So liberal, nobly born, free, selfless, admirable. So we're living in a time, Isaiah 32:5, start at 4. The heart of the rash shall understand knowledge, and the tongue of stammerers shall be ready to speak plainly. The elect have been raised up. The one who in Esau's system have been looked at as mockers, nobody to take serious. Now we're ready to speak plainly. The vile person shall no more be called liberal, nor the truth said to be bountiful. See? So he's no longer being looked at as liberal. Everybody's figuring his ass out. So they're going to have to pass legislation that makes it illegal to speak on them. And we've done videos where the UN, all right, the Red Shield people, and various different ruling class elites that go under different terms and names, and, you know, they're saying you can't talk about them. And laws will be passed to make sure of that. Videos can be taken down if you speak against particular people in power. All right. Christian persecution is about to be introduced, and you Christians don't stand for anything, but you do have here in the South, the Bible Belt, you have particular Christians who are against a lot of what's going on. Some of them are, you know, Trumpers, you know, the KKK, you know, that vibe. They believed in the Bible. They believed in, you know, themselves being the chosen people, you know, and it should be pure. Nations should be separated. So they have, you know, particular biblical, all right, thought processes, but it's not rooted in the truth of the matter. But those are going to be the ones that are going to clash hardcore against these policies. And you've seen a clip of that in Canada, you know, when they shut down those accounts and the truckers went on strike. So people are going to rebel. If passed, and the very fact that it's even put on the books lets us know where we are. Bill C-367 could land, all right, Christians in jail for quoting the Bible or expressing a faith-based opinion, all right, if the government deems it promotion of hatred or anti-Sim. Okay, and that whole anti-Sim thing ain't working. All right, they're being called out more and more. All right, when Queen Elizabeth died, all you saw was people. It was a shameful spewing. When this dude Rothschild died, nobody cared. It wasn't a world full of sadness. People were cursing their asses out because people are now up on the up and up about who these people are and what their agenda is. And the regular, everyday so-called white people are even more mad. They're pissed off because this system of Edomite supremacy was supposed to be for them. And now their rights and liberties are being taken away. All right? And it's very interesting that this one nation of people, this one group of people, the only group of people here in the system of Edomite supremacy that have a, we already got that, have a biblical nationality. Think about that. This is the only people, I have it highlighted here, that have a biblical nationality. So, okay, where's Moab? Where's Ham? Where's Japhet? But they get to be called Israel. All right, they have a biblical nationality, but everybody else is a color or associated with some pseudoscience. This is an absolute disgrace. Okay, and the anti-Sim thing ain't working. Kanye West album, even they trying to take it down. The beats were okay, but, you know, the lyrics were full of folly. But, you know, who gives a damn? At the end of the day, his shows are sold out. They thought that they were going to be able to counsel anyone who's anti-Sim, but the world is supporting people who are anti-Sim now. Okay, because this world it's all hypocrisy. Here it is. Nobody cares about the Bible. But then you want to stand up and call out anti-Sim talking points when it comes against this particular people. You see the folly in that? So you people are hypocrites. This is an absolute disgrace. All right. Let's see here. You see the black boule doing their job, being the fall guy for the perversions that go on in Hollywood and the music industry. But it's good for them niggas. All right. But you, that Epstein list and what you devils are doing, all right, it's not going to go unchecked. You won't get away. Just know that as well. All right. It says critics argue that the Trudeau-supported bill will lead to severe penalties for those who publicly practice traditional Christian beliefs. Who do you think that's geared towards? Okay, that is geared towards the Hebrew Israelites. Okay, the vile person is no more being called liberal. See? Nor the churl said to be bountiful. People are looking at his policies and what's coming out of his mouth, and they're realizing Isaiah 32:6 that the vile person will speak villainy. He nothing but destruction follows this guy's. All these speeches, they come with this soft-spoken speech, but then nothing but draconian measures are following. And his heart will work iniquity to practice hypocrisy. That is the Democrat in a nutshell. And now a lot of Jake are waking up to this. Certain Jake are waking up. I saw a video one of the elders posted where a woman was, the Democrats and the Republicans against us. See, Jake was under the impression that the liberal Democrat was for their cause. Now you have this situation where the cast from a different world, you know, are gathering and doing a reunion, and then they're going to meet at the White House. All right, because it's time to get black people, you know, back into that spirit of voting. All right, for these losers, because the Biden administration has lost favor with Jake. But Jake still don't want to wake up, so they're going to go back to Trump, or they're going to call on somebody else, anybody but Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, in the mouth that issues forth from that power, all right, which is the prophets. They have not asked at the mouth of the Heavenly Father. Therefore, all right, they're getting ready to be led to destruction. But people, all right, are listening to this man, and they're like, wait a minute, you're not liberal. See? In the way he tries to put it, okay? His heart will work iniquity to practice hypocrisy and to utter error against Yahweh and to make empty the soul of the hungry, all right? And he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail. What is the drink of the thirsty? All right, the living waters. See? The living waters. Let's get the book of 2nd Esdras, the 6th chapter. All right, and the Lord is going to allow him to do this. It's not that he's going to cut the truth off, but all right, this word will not be freely running through the streets of America and the beast system and the internet like that, because they're going to gain control of the internet in a way where you'll be restricted once these attacks and things go on. Let's see here. Let's see, fountains. Let's see, is it here or is it in another chapter? Boom. 2nd Esdras 6:23. I started 22. And suddenly shall the sown places become unsown. These different businesses are shutting down. The full storehouses shall be suddenly found empty, And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth it, all right, they shall be utterly afraid. What does that lead us to? Let's get Isaiah 19 real quick. These words are affecting people. Isaiah 19. Okay. And 15. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt. The buildings shutting down. These corporations shutting down. Restaurants shutting down. Stores shutting down. Malls shutting down. AI taking over. Which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. In that day shall Egypt be like unto women, perplexed, scared, nervous, unfaithful. You know, that's what we're seeing, the behavior. And it shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of the Lord of hosts, which he shaketh over it. And who's shaking the hand? That's an ancient custom of rebuke. Okay? In the land of Judah shall be a terror unto Egypt, and everyone that maketh mention there shall be afraid in himself because of the counsel that Yahweh have determined against it. All right. And that counsel, okay, is the destruction that's coming from the prophets, that this place got to be destroyed, that the beast system is wicked, the rulers are Edomites. Okay. Let's see here. And we know this whole movement is going to be centered around the black Hebrew Israelites. All right. Jake, Judah, the head tribe, the so-called Negro. Just to speak the name of Israel will terrorize them. But the Lord of heaven's army has laid out his plans against them. So people, they're hearing these messages. All right. So verse 23 in 2nd Esdras 6, the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth that he shall be suddenly afraid. So people are hearing these words, and this is why the Christians are trying to stop the Israelites. They're all scared. Great fear is upon them. And at that time shall friends fight against one another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountains shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. So there's going to be a certain amount of time where this word is not going to be flowing in this system, the internet. Whosoever remaineth from all these that I have told thee shall escape and see my salvation in the end of your world. And earlier in the chapter, that's associated with Esau's world. Esau is the end of the world. And this is what is upon them. Okay? This is what is coming upon these Edomites. Okay? Why are so many countries trying to make undefined hate speech a criminal charge? Well, it's prophecy, baby. Psalms 37:14, the wicked have drawn out the sword and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy and to slay such as be of upright conversation. Boom. That's why. Okay. This seems to be likely to be abused massively by the government authorities or for political reasons. Of course it will be abused. But things are going to happen that are going to, seemingly for the people justify the action. And it's going to be tied to the Hebrew Israelites. All right. But you're also going to have, Christian preachers, certain preachers who speak out against certain things. Ireland, hate undefined speech law proposed 5 years in prison for a meme. We're in meme culture now. Some people base their whole ideology off of memes that are unchecked. They just, oh, the meme said it, now it's true. France, 3 years in prison. All right, fined to speak in opposition against any state-endorsed pharmaceuticals. And our beloved brother at the church of, what's his name, Antipas in the book of Revelation, he was speaking against the pharmaceuticals of the day back in Rome with all of the wicked practices, and he was a healer. And they rolled on him and told him to stop, and he wouldn't stop. And it led to him, being, tortured in a bull, but in a golden bull that they had, with the mouth opening, the scream supposed to be. It was all idol worship, but we're back in that system again. Canada proposed life sentence in prison or 70K for hate undefined speech. You are being silenced. Life? Okay. According to Rebel News, similar concerns have been raised, all right, in the past with this bill, highlighting a trend towards increasing restriction of speech in Canada. Okay, so this called a straight gate for a reason. Here it is. You have Israelites that are telling you, ain't no Jacob's, we already went through Jacob's trouble. What do you think is getting ready to happen as this man's system is falling because of the prophecies that are coming to pass? He's going to try to stop that sacrifice. You got to understand, this is centered around a sacrifice. What did the heathen in time past do? Okay, because when you get Isaiah the 19th chapter, this is all centered around an altar, a sacrifice. Isaiah 19 and 19, in that day shall there be an altar to the Lord in the midst of the land of Egypt. That is the sacrifice, all right, of our the sacrifice of our lips. Let's see. This is Hebrews 13 and 5. By him, therefore, let us offer the sacrifice of praise to the Most High continually. That is the fruit of our lips, giving thanks to his name. So in times past, did not heathen nations know to cut off the sacrifice in order to cut our connection with the Most High? Well, they're going to, now the sacrifice is fulfilled in us. We don't have a standing temple. So what do you think they're going to do? Okay. Examples. All right. 2013 Supreme Court classified Bible-based criticism of alphabet behavior as hate crime. 2017, a law passed in Ontario allowing children to be separated from their families if they refuse to accept or encourage the child's alphabet identity. 2021, a divorced dad was in prison after calling his biological female minor child his daughter despite a court order. Again, truth is being outlawed. To tell the truth, nigga, you know, you're a female. You're my daughter. But you go and change to a man, I'm supposed to call you my son. And if I don't, okay, then what, you know? The potential for heavy fines or imprisonment for expressing traditional Christian views is a direct threat to religious freedom in Canada. The Trudeau's government moves have raised alarm bells, all right, about the broader societal and legal implications, such as legal changes, potentially setting a precedent for other jurisdictions, all right? And the other jurisdictions are a part of the beast system, okay? Independent media is the enemy, mass censorship is our weapon, okay? Because everybody's onto these devils, man. Isaiah 5 and 10, they hate him that rebuketh in the gate, and they abhor him that speaketh uprightly. Okay? Psalms 37 and 14 again, the wicked have drawn out the sword and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy and to slay such as be of an upright conversation. All right, Isaiah 29 and 20, for the terrible one is brought to naught and the scorner is consumed. All they that watch for iniquity are cut off, that make a man an offender for a word and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate. Okay, and turn aside the just for a thing of naught. So they're laying a snare for those that reprove in the gate. All right, but on one hand, they're setting up all of this evil, wicked behavior to take place. All right, they're allowing it. Right? Like I say, you know, and see if I can pull it up. Stuff like this. Check this out. Trans basketball player injures 2 female opponents. Fair use.
Each a returning champion. Elgin Intensity. Move over, CrossFitters. There's a new way to cheat through the KIP by enrolling there and joining a girls' sports team as a man. Their girls' basketball game on February 8 against the Collegiate Charter School of Lowell, Massachusetts ended at halftime. If the question is why, then the answer is Y chromosome. That KIP Academy student throwing his opponent like a rag doll who wore the wrong dress to his tea party is a 17-year-old man who identifies as a woman. Nobody on the girls' team stands a chance against him because his physical advantages over women allow him to hang on to balls like a nut hugger. Collegiate left after only 16 minutes of play with KIP leading 31-14, but the game went into the books as a 10-0 forfeit win for KIP. That means there's still no safe combination of trans people, children, and books. This male player is also on the girls' track and volleyball teams, and he has never played on a boys' team. The player is reported to be more than 6 feet tall with facial hair. If only someone could dunk on that freak.
Madness. So this is this is where it's at. So again, of course people are going to speak out. They're doing it. This is all being done on purpose.
Now to a story getting a lot of attention now. I'm going to take you down to the Tar Heel State, North Carolina Senate Committee, passing a bill that bans males from female sports.
But you see, women fought for this. Now girls want to take a stand because you're being represented by trans people on podcasts speaking about women's issues. Now the trans are beating your ass in sports, injuring you, dunking on you. See? So it's a big ball of confusion, but they're going to use the talking point against that, people who use the Bible to talk against these things, as a reason, all right, to make a man an offender for the word. All right. Let's get Revelation 12 and we'll end it off. I don't want to make this too long. Revelation 12 and 17. And the dragon, the revival of Rome, was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of the Most High and have the testimony of Yahweh Shai. All right. And this is that war. They're getting ready to come down with great wrath. All right. So hopefully y'all edified. We'll be back with more news and prophecy, Lord willing. Shalom.